Chapter 1. Prologue. The story begins in a world where gates to dungeons filled with monsters open up, leading to the birth of hunters, people with superhuman abilities, who fight to protect humanity. Among them is Sung Jin-Woo, an E-rank hunter, known as the weakest of all hunters. Despite his title, he risks his life in low-level dungeons to pay for his mother's medical bills and to support his sister's education. Jin-Woo is painfully aware of his limitations, as he barely survives dungeon expeditions, while stronger hunters look down on him. His life, however, is about to change drastically after entering a double dungeon. Chapter 2. D-rank dungeon. Jin-Woo and his team of hunters enter a low-level D-rank dungeon. The monsters in this dungeon are relatively weak, so Jin-Woo feels a little more relaxed, even though he remains the weakest member of the group. After clearing the dungeon, the hunters discover a hidden passage that leads to a double dungeon, an unexpected and dangerous phenomenon. The leader of the group, Song Ka-yeol, decides to explore it despite the eerie atmosphere, and Jin-Woo follows out of necessity. Chapter 3. Double Dungeon. Inside the hidden double dungeon, the group faces a terrifying discovery: a room filled with colossal stone, statues, and a massive altar. The atmosphere grows tense as they realize this isn't an ordinary dungeon. A strange tablet on the altar lists 3 mysterious rules. When the group unintentionally triggers the first rule, the statues come to life and begin attacking. Chaos erupts, and many of the hunters are killed. Jin-Woo, severely injured, watches helplessly as his comrades fall. Chapter 4. Time limit. As more hunters die in the double dungeon, Jin-Woo tries to decipher the rules on the stone tablet. The survivors barely manage to comply with the second rule, which requires them to pray to the gods. With only a few left alive, they face the third rule, a time limit that forces them to sacrifice someone. Jin-Woo, bleeding out and nearing death, takes the initiative to offer himself as the sacrifice. As the last survivor, he believes his sacrifice will save the others. Chapter 5. Job change. Just as Jin-Woo is about to die, something miraculous happens. Instead of perishing, he awakens in a white space with a system window in front of him. Much like a video game interface, the system congratulates him on clearing a secret quest and offers him a new life as a player. Jin-Woo doesn't fully understand what's happening, but instinctively chooses to accept the system's offer, granting him a second chance at life with the ability to level up like in a game. Chapter 6. Earning money. Jin-Woo wakes up in a hospital after surviving the double dungeon, now branded a miracle survivor. However, he quickly realizes that something has changed. The system is still present, and it gives him quests, rewards, and a way to level up. His first quest is a series of daily exercises: push-ups, sit-ups, and running, which seem mundane. Jin-Woo takes the system's instructions seriously and begins training, hoping to become stronger. As he trains, he earns experience points and notices his body growing stronger, faster than any normal human. Chapter 7. On the borderline of weak and strong. While following the system's daily quests, Jin-Woo's physique improves dramatically, surprising him. He discovers that the more effort he puts into training, the more experience points he earns, and his stats continue to rise. His transformation is subtle, but his newfound strength is undeniable. Despite these changes, Jin-Woo hides his abilities from other hunters, continuing to join weak, low-paying dungeon raids to maintain a low profile while leveling up in secret. Chapter 8. Trying out magic power. Jin-Woo begins experimenting with his newfound abilities, specifically his magical power. He tests the extent of his growth by joining another E-rank dungeon raid with other low-level hunters. This time, however, Jin-Woo's increased strength makes it easier for him to fend off monsters. He starts realizing that even though he was the weakest, his potential for growth is nearly limitless. With each monster he defeats, his power and stats rise, and he feels more confident about the future. Chapter 9. Class Advancement Quest. The system presents Jin-Woo with a class advancement quest, offering him the opportunity to choose a specialized role. He receives instructions to enter a high-level dungeon alone to complete the quest. Knowing that he is still too weak to tackle such a challenge, Jin-Woo hesitates, but ultimately decides to enter. Inside the dungeon, he faces powerful monsters, but his ability to constantly grow stronger allows him to barely survive. This quest introduces him to the concept of shadow soldiers, which will play a crucial role in his later abilities. Chapter 10. Iron Golem. In the class advancement quest, Jin-Woo faces an iron golem, an enormous and powerful boss monster. Despite his improved stats, the golem proves to be a significant challenge. Jin-Woo struggles against its overwhelming power and resilience, but with strategic thinking, he manages to exploit its weaknesses. After a grueling battle, Jin-Woo emerges victorious. As a reward for completing the quest, he gains the ability to summon shadow soldiers, starting with the golem he just defeated. This marks the beginning of Jin-Woo's journey as the Shadow Monarch. Chapter 11. Overcoming Death. After successfully completing the class advancement quest, Jin-Woo's life continues to evolve as he adjusts to his new powers, specifically the ability to summon shadow soldiers from the creatures he defeats. He realizes that his near-death experiences have pushed him beyond his limits, granting him strength and confidence he never had before. His growth is now rapid, and he is no longer the weakest hunter he once was. Jin-Woo starts to accept the fact that he is becoming a powerful force in his own right. Chapter 12. Hidden Quest. While continuing his daily training routine and hunting in low-ranked dungeons, Jin-Woo stumbles upon a hidden quest. This quest provides an unexpected and lucrative opportunity to enhance his power further. With the system urging him on, he enters an unusually difficult dungeon for his level. As Jin-Woo fights through the dungeon, he is met with far more powerful monsters than he had anticipated. Despite this, he fights strategically, utilizing his newly acquired skills and shadow soldiers to overcome the threats. By completing the hidden quest, Jin-Woo earns rare rewards that further boost his abilities. Chapter 13. Demon Castle. The system informs Jin-Woo of a special key that grants him access to a hidden dungeon, known as the Demon Castle, one of the most dangerous locations. Although the dungeon is far beyond his current level, Jin-Woo decides to investigate. He enters cautiously, knowing full well the risk, but his desire to grow stronger overrides his fear. Inside the Demon Castle, Jin-Woo encounters stronger demons than he has ever faced, and each victory earns him greater rewards. The difficulty of this dungeon pushes Jin-Woo to his limits, and he narrowly survives, but it makes him significantly stronger. Chapter 14. Growth. Jin-Woo's physical and magical powers continue to grow as he clears more dungeons and gains more experience. He quickly rises from the weakest hunter to someone with abilities that rival the top hunters in the world. His leveling up system provides an advantage that no other hunter has, making him unique in his ability to grow stronger with each fight. Jin-Woo begins to accumulate more shadow soldiers, increasing his army with each dungeon he clears. The system continuously pushes him with more quests, urging him to evolve into a true force. Chapter 15. Request to join the guild. As Jin-Woo's reputation starts to spread, hunters from other guilds begin to take notice. Several guilds send out invitations, asking him to join their ranks. One particular guild, Baeko Guild, becomes especially persistent in trying to recruit Jin-Woo. However, he remains uninterested, preferring to remain independent, while he continues to grow stronger through solo dungeon runs. Despite their offers of money and power, Jin-Woo turns them down, choosing to focus on his personal development and the mysteries behind the system that controls his powers. Chapter 16. A rank dungeon. Jin-Woo's determination to test his limits drives him to challenge in a rank dungeon, a feat that would be impossible for most low-level hunters. He decides to enter the dungeon alone, putting his newfound strength to the test. Inside, he faces powerful monsters and near-death experiences, but thanks to his shadow soldiers and his ever-increasing stats, Jin-Woo holds his ground. The system continues to offer him quests and rewards as he progresses, and Jin-Woo steadily becomes more skilled in managing both his own powers and his army of shadows. Chapter 17. A world only I can experience. As Jin-Woo grows stronger, he becomes increasingly aware that the system governing his powers is unlike anything in the world. No other hunters seem to possess the ability to level up or receive quests, making him unique. This newfound understanding leads Jin-Woo to question the origin of his powers and the true purpose behind the system. He starts to realize that he is no longer living in the same world as ordinary hunters, His journey is now taking him down a path that no one else can follow. Chapter 18. Dungeon Break. Jin-Woo learns of a dungeon break-in event in which monsters from a dungeon escaped into the human world, causing widespread destruction. This dungeon break is occurring at a location that is beyond his current rank, but Jin-Woo feels compelled to intervene. Despite the danger, he heads to the site of the dungeon break, where he sees the havoc that the monsters are wreaking. Although outmatched by the high-level creatures, Jin-Woo throws himself into the fight. His combat abilities have now grown to the point where he can take on monsters far stronger than those of his rank, shocking other hunters. Chapter 19. E-Class Hunter's Strength. Jin-Woo's actions during the dungeon break do not go unnoticed. Fellow hunters are astonished by his abilities, as any rank hunter should not be capable of such feats. Word begins to spread of Jin-Woo's strength, and even powerful hunters and guild leaders start to take an interest in him. Despite his impressive growth, Jin-Woo keeps his status as an E-rank hunter, choosing to remain under the radar for the time being. However, his skills are now undeniable, and many begin to suspect that there is more to him than meets the eye. Chapter 20. Gate on the School Grounds. Jin-Woo receives troubling news that a gate has appeared near his sister's school. Gates are portals to dungeons, and if they aren't cleared within a certain amount of time, the monsters inside break free into the real world. Fearing for his sister's safety, Jin-Woo rushes to the school. When he arrives, the gate has already reached a critical point, and monsters are about to spill out into the school grounds. Without hesitation, Jin-Woo enters the gate alone, ready to confront whatever danger lies inside to protect his sister and the students at the school. Chapter 21. Rescue Team. Jin-Woo enters the gate that appeared on the school grounds, determined to clear it and protect his sister. Inside the dungeon, he encounters a group of students who have been trapped and are on the brink of being overwhelmed by monsters. Jin-Woo quickly jumps into action, using his shadow soldiers to protect the students while he fights off the monsters. The students, terrified and shocked, can barely believe what they are witnessing. An E-rank hunter handling monsters that would normally require a full team of experienced hunters. Chapter 22. Time Limit. As Jin-Woo fights deeper into the dungeon, he realizes that time is running out. The gate is nearing the point of a dungeon break, which means that once the countdown ends, the monsters will escape into the real world. Jin-Woo faces increasingly powerful enemies as he makes his way toward the dungeon boss. Despite the pressure and the limited time, Jin-Woo's calm demeanor and strategic mind allow him to overcome each challenge. With his shadow army growing larger and stronger, he knows that defeating the dungeon boss will be his only chance to prevent disaster. Chapter 23. Demons in the School. The situation escalates when a group of demonic monsters appears inside the dungeon. These creatures are much stronger than the usual beasts Jin-Woo has encountered in E-rank dungeons, but with his combat experience and the strength of his shadow soldiers, he manages to hold them off. Jin-Woo's use of his new skills and his ability to summon shadows from the creatures he defeats gives him an overwhelming advantage, though he keeps his emotions in check, focusing only on clearing the dungeon to protect his sister and the students. Chapter 24. Demon Beast's True Strength. As Jin-Woo continues deeper into the dungeon, he finally faces the dungeon boss, a towering demon beast with immense strength and magical abilities. The demon proves to be a formidable opponent, testing all of Jin-Woo's combat skills and abilities. The battle is intense and grueling, with Jin-Woo forced to make use of everything he has learned so far. His shadow soldiers assist in the fight, but even they struggle to match the power of the boss. Through quick thinking and precise attacks, Jin-Woo eventually defeats the demon beast, sealing the gate just before the dungeon break can occur. Chapter 25. Jin-Woo's Resolve. After successfully clearing the dungeon and saving the students, Jin-Woo reflects on how much stronger he has become. He realizes that his powers are no longer something he can hide for long. His sister, Jin-Ah, who was among the rescued students, is deeply shaken by the events, but remains proud of her brother. However, Jin-Woo knows that this is only the beginning. His growth is accelerating, and the threats he faces will only become more dangerous. With newfound determination, he vows to continue growing stronger, no longer just to protect his family, but to confront the mysteries behind the system and the powerful enemies that await him. Chapter 26. The Return. Jin-Woo returns to his daily life after the intense experience of clearing the dungeon and saving the students. The news of his heroic actions spreads quickly, leading to increased recognition and curiosity from other hunters and the general public. Despite this newfound attention, Jin-Woo remains focused on his personal growth and the mysteries of his system. He continues to train rigorously and takes on new quests to further enhance his abilities, all while trying to keep a low profile. Chapter 27. Dungeon in the Airport. Jin-Woo is alerted to a new dungeon break happening at an airport. The situation is critical, as the monsters are causing chaos and endangering countless lives. Jin-Woo heads to the scene, where he finds that the dungeon is much more complex and dangerous than anticipated. He confronts various high-level monsters, showcasing his impressive combat skills and the strength of his shadow army. His quick actions help to contain the situation, earning him even more praise and increasing his reputation as a rising hunter. Chapter 28. Ants of Jeju Island. A special quest involves traveling to Jeju Island, where reports of a high-level ant nest have emerged. These ants are known for their aggressive behavior and significant threat to the island's safety. Jin-Woo heads to Jeju Island to investigate and deal with the infestation. As he battles the monstrous ants, he encounters a new type of ant with even greater strength and intelligence. This quest tests his strategic abilities and showcases the continued evolution of his powers. Chapter 29. Arrival on Jeju Island. Jin-Woo arrives on Jeju Island and begins to explore the area affected by the ant infestation. He discovers the extent of the damage and the growing threat posed by the ant monsters. The local authorities and hunters are struggling to handle the situation, and Jin-Woo takes it upon himself to lead the charge. Using his shadow soldiers effectively, he begins to clear out the ants and assess the situation, preparing for an even greater challenge ahead. Chapter 30. The Threat of the Ants. The ant infestation proves to be more dangerous than anticipated. Jin-Woo encounters the Ant Queen, a powerful and cunning leader of the ant colony. The Ant Queen commands a vast army of ants, making the battle exceptionally challenging. Jin-Woo engages in a fierce fight, utilizing his shadow army and his own combat skills to combat the queen and her minions. The battle is intense and tests Jin-Woo's strategic thinking and fighting abilities to their limits. Chapter 31. Superhuman Strength. Following the battle with the Ant Queen, Jin-Woo experiences a surge in his strength and abilities. His shadow soldiers have also grown more powerful from the recent battles. With his newfound strength, Jin-Woo begins to see significant improvements in his combat performance and overall capabilities. He starts taking on more challenging quests and dungeons, which further enhances his reputation and attracts the attention of various powerful guilds. Chapter 32. Seeker of Power. Jin-Woo's quest for power leads him to seek out ancient artifacts and hidden dungeons that promise rare and potent rewards. His journey takes him to remote and dangerous locations, where he faces powerful monsters and traps. Jin-Woo's determination and growing strength allow him to overcome these challenges, and he uncovers valuable artifacts that enhance his abilities and grant him new powers. Chapter 33. Meeting the Monarch of the Beginning. Jin-Woo encounters the Monarch of the Beginning, a mysterious and powerful entity that reveals more about the origins of the system and the Shadow Army. This meeting provides Jin-Woo with critical information about the forces at play and the nature of his powers. The Monarch hints at the larger conflict between rulers and monarchs and the role Jin-Woo will play in this grand struggle. Chapter 34. Ant Queen. After Jin-Woo's battle with the Ant Queen, he is left with a deeper understanding of the ant colony's structure and the threats they pose. The aftermath of the battle reveals more about the ants' complex social hierarchy and their powerful abilities. Jin-Woo continues to deal with the remnants of the ant infestation and prepares for future challenges, knowing that the threat from such powerful creatures is far from over. Chapter 35. Facing off against the Ant King. The appearance of the Ant King, an even more formidable foe than the Ant Queen, presents a new challenge for Jin-Woo. The Ant King possesses incredible strength and resilience, pushing Jin-Woo to his limits. The battle is fierce and demanding, requiring Jin-Woo to use every strategy and ability at his disposal. His victory over the Ant King marks a significant milestone in his journey and further establishes his dominance as a powerful hunter. Chapter 36. The Strongest Hunter. Jin-Woo's reputation as the strongest hunter continues to grow after his successful battles against the ant threats. He is approached by various guilds and organizations, all eager to recruit him or form alliances. Despite the offers, Jin-Woo remains focused on his personal goals and the mysteries of the system. His newfound status allows him to take on even more challenging quests and dungeons, further solidifying his place in the world of hunters. Chapter 37. Return to Seoul. Jin-Woo returns to Seoul after his adventures in Jeju Island. The city is buzzing with news of his recent exploits and the growing recognition of his strength. He reconnects with his family and friends, who are relieved and proud of his accomplishments. However, Jin-Woo remains vigilant, knowing that the threats he faces are far from over and that there are greater challenges waiting for him in the future. Chapter 38. Invitation to America. Jin-Woo receives an invitation from an American organization that recognizes his extraordinary abilities. The offer includes the opportunity to participate in high-level quests and gain access to exclusive resources. While the invitation is tempting, Jin-Woo carefully considers the implications and decides whether to accept the offer or continue focusing on his current objectives. Chapter 39. New Skills. With his continued growth and progression, Jin-Woo unlocks new skills and abilities that enhance his combat effectiveness and strategic options. These skills allow him to better manage his shadow army and handle increasingly difficult challenges. Jin-Woo's training and experience are paying off, and he begins to explore the full potential of his powers. Chapter 40. The Power of the Hunters. Jin-Woo witnesses the power of other top hunters as they face formidable opponents and undertake dangerous quests. The interactions with these powerful individuals provide him with insights into the different approaches to hunting and the nature of their strength. Jin-Woo learns valuable lessons and gains a deeper understanding of the world of hunters, preparing him for the future challenges that lie ahead. Chapter 40. The Power of the Hunters. Jin-Woo witnesses the power of other top hunters as they face formidable opponents and undertake dangerous quests. The interactions with these powerful individuals provide him with insights into the different approaches to hunting and the nature of their strength. Jin-Woo learns valuable lessons and gains a deeper understanding of the world of hunters, preparing him for the future challenges that lie ahead. Chapter 41. S-Rank Hunter Association. Jin-Woo becomes involved with the S-Rank Hunter Association, an elite group of hunters known for their extraordinary abilities. His interactions with the members of this association reveal more about the hierarchy and politics within the world of hunters. Jin-Woo's growing presence and reputation lead to further developments and opportunities within the association. Chapter 42. Hidden Dungeon. Jin-Woo discovers a hidden dungeon with unique and challenging conditions. The dungeon's complexity and the powerful monsters within require Jin-Woo to employ advanced strategies and tactics. His success in navigating the dungeon and overcoming its challenges further enhances his abilities and rewards, solidifying his position as a top hunter. Chapter 43. Exploring the Dungeon. As Jin-Woo explores the hidden dungeon, he encounters various traps, puzzles, and formidable enemies. His strategic skills and the strength of his shadow army are put to the test as he delves deeper into the dungeon's depths. The rewards and challenges he faces provide valuable experience and resources, contributing to his continued growth. Chapter 44. The Giant. Jin-Woo encounters a giant monster within the hidden dungeon, presenting a significant challenge. The giant's immense size and power require Jin-Woo to use all of his skills and abilities to defeat it. The battle is intense and grueling, but Jin-Woo's determination and strategic approach ultimately lead to victory. Chapter 45. King of Giants. After defeating the giant, Jin-Woo faces the King of Giants, an even more powerful and formidable foe. The battle with the King of Giants tests Jin-Woo's limits and requires him to utilize his full range of abilities. The victory over this powerful opponent further establishes Jin-Woo's reputation and showcases his growth as a hunter. Chapter 46, King of Giants. Jin-Woo faces off against the King of Giants, a colossal and fearsome creature that dwarfs all other monsters he has encountered. This battle is particularly challenging due to the king's immense strength and powerful attacks. Jin-Woo utilizes every ounce of his skill and strategy to outmaneuver and defeat the giant. His shadow soldiers play a crucial role in the fight, distracting and attacking the king to provide Jin-Woo with openings. The battle is intense and exhausting, but Jin-Woo emerges victorious, further proving his strength and gaining substantial rewards for his efforts. Chapter 47, Battle with the Giants. With the King of Giants defeated, Jin-Woo continues to battle the remaining giants within the dungeon. These giants are powerful, but not as formidable as their leader. Jin-Woo's experience and growth are evident as he efficiently dispatches the remaining giants. He strategically uses his shadow army to manage the battlefield and minimize damage to himself and his soldiers. The clearing of these giants solidifies Jin-Woo's reputation as a top-tier hunter and showcases his ability to handle large-scale threats with ease. Chapter 48, Power Beyond Limits. After the extensive battles in the hidden dungeon, Jin-Woo experiences a significant power surge. The intense combat and the defeat of the King of Giants have pushed his abilities to new heights. He gains access to new powers and skills that enhance his combat effectiveness and strategic options. This newfound power allows him to tackle even more challenging quests and dungeons with greater confidence. Jin-Woo's growth is evident as he pushes beyond his previous limits, establishing himself as one of the most powerful hunters in existence. Chapter 49, Return to the Dungeon. Jin-Woo returns to the hidden dungeon to explore further and uncover additional secrets. The dungeon, now partially cleared, still holds many mysteries and potential dangers. As he delves deeper, he encounters new challenges and enemies that test his enhanced abilities. Jin-Woo's exploration reveals hidden rooms, powerful artifacts, and additional quests that contribute to his growth. His continued efforts in the dungeon solidify his status as a formidable hunter and further expand his influence in the world of hunters. Chapter 50, Clash with the Monarchs. In a dramatic turn of events, Jin-Woo is thrust into a clash with the Monarchs, powerful beings who represent a significant threat to humanity. These monarchs possess immense power and have been operating behind the scenes, influencing events in the world of hunters. Jin-Woo's encounter with them is intense and perilous, requiring all of his skills, strategic prowess, and newly acquired powers. The clash reveals more about the true nature of the system and the larger conflict between the rulers and monarchs. Jin-Woo's victory in this battle marks a pivotal moment in his journey, setting the stage for future challenges and confrontations.